Here you can see a picture of the linguist llama. The linguist llama is usually a quite whimsical guy. If asked whether Grice's maxims are important, he replies that sandwiches are tasty, which does not really answer our question. Or does it? Now, the cooperative principle is generally about cooperation with one another, hence the name cooperative principle. When two people speak, we can presuppose that they cooperate in order to bring meaning across. And in order to bring meaning across properly, we have so-called maxims of conversation, which are the following. The first maxim is the quality maxim, which basically means to tell the truth. Here we have Derb and Derpina engaging in a conversation. She asks him how old he is. And what does Derb say? He is 145, which is false. So he didn't apply the maxim of quality correctly, because he's actually 20. The next maxim is the maxim of quantity, which means that messages should be as economic as possible, that is, explain the world with just a handful of words. Again, Derpina asks for Derb's age. And what he gives to her is a quite extensive arithmetic problem. Sorry, Derb, but you've just violated the maxim of quantity. The third maxim is concerned with relevance. It says that we should only reply correctly. Here, Derpina asks for Derb's age again, and Derb says, I like cheesecake. Way to go, Derb. That's how you should not do it. The last maxim is the manner maxim, which means that we should give information in a clear and orderly way, without confusing our partner. And again, Derpina inquires Derb's age, and he replies, Am I 20 years old, or 243 months old? And when does life begin anyway? Wow. In violating maxims, Derb certainly takes the cake. Here are some more things that you can do with maxims. First of all, you can violate them without being noticed, which we generally call lying, as you see in this example, where A asks B, Did you eat the last pancake? And B replies, No, I didn't, although he did. You can also violate maxims deliberately, which is called flouting. For instance, if you say, You wrecked my car, a fine friend you turn out to be. What you can also do is refrain from cooperation, which is called opting out. By saying, My lips are sealed, you signify that you don't want to talk anymore. An implicature is an utterance which conveys meaning beyond its proposition. And there we have yet another word we have no clue about. A proposition refers to the semantic content of a sentence. Anyway, whenever we use an implicature, it's like we can draw a conclusion from what is said and therefore deduce more meaning than is actually encoded. Pretty neat, isn't it? Now, Paul Grice, the father, or should I say grandfather of pragmatics, subdivides implicature into two types, conversational and conventional. Conversational implicatures are special in that they employ the cooperative principle and the maxims of conversation. If you don't know what that is, there's a green button below. So logically, if conversational implicatures have to do with the cooperative principle, conventional implicatures do not. They actually try to make a point about a contrast, and very often you can be tipped off by words like but or yet. However, many people wouldn't go for a classification into conventional implicatures simply because, if we're honest, you can find maxims of conversation everywhere. Which is why I'm going to leave out these rudimental implicatures further on. On the next level we can subdivide as well. Specifically, conversational implicature can be subdivided into three types. The first one is the generalized conversational implicature. Generalized means it doesn't depend that much on the context. Even by definite articles or tenses, you can implicate certain things, like in the following sentence. The arsonist put a house on fire. If you don't know what an arsonist is, pause the video and look that up now. Done? Okay, so this sentence features a generalized implicature simply by using the article a. The implication behind it is simply that it is not his own house the arsonist is burning down. It could be any house really, but not his. The next type is the particular conversational implicature, which this time strongly depends on the context to implicate correctly. Look at this dialogue. Do you want to go to the cinema tonight? My little sister's coming for a visit. On the surface, B's reply doesn't seem to be a relevant answer to A's question, which is why B just violated a maxim. However, what B wanted to implicate is that she wouldn't have time to go to the cinema because she's busy with performing shaman rituals with her sister, or so. So to use and point out the implicature, B flouts the maxim of relevance. Now why is this an example for a particular implicature? Well, simply because we wouldn't have a clue what B's utterance is about if we didn't have A's question. The last type is called scalar implicature. Whenever we use a word that expresses a degree, you automatically implicate that the thing you're talking about isn't of any higher degree. So here you have a scale going from none to all. And now have a look at the sentence. I had some buttered scones for tea. The word some is in the middle of our scale, meaning that you just had some, but not all buttered scones, because they're really high in fat and you really wouldn't want to eat them all. So this was it. For a final test, try to identify the implicatures in the following example.